College's 11 meters Tom Fox, staff photographer TCU Horned Frogs defensive tackle Joseph Broadnax Jr. 54, and his teammates race through the fog as they are introduced before the Kansas Jayhawks game at Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas, Saturday, October 21, 2017. Tom Fox, The Dallas Morning News, by Reece Kelley Graham, staff writer at Reece Kelley. Last May, we ranked TCU's roster post-spring practices. And we're doing it again, predicting which 25 players will have the biggest impact on the Horned Frogs' 2018 season is, well, difficult. But we like to think we can make our best effort based on what we've seen so far. We're giving it our best shot this week as we begin with Nos. 25 to 21. And if your favorite player isn't on the list, just remember, it wasn't personal. One big change for this year's countdown, we will not be including players who haven't yet played a snap for TCU. It eliminates some guesswork and makes the list less subjective. So don't expect to see any of the Frogs' early enrollees like Justin Rogers or Tay Barber, JUCO transfers like Anthony McKinney and Prowells, or highly touted freshmen like Fabian Franklin or Atanza Vongar. Firstly, we'll start with our 2018 honorable mentions: Michael Collins, QB Tony James, CB Brandon Bowen, Demikel Epley, Degery Overshone, DET Garrett Wallow, Palak Dunham, LB 25. Dylan Thomas, Jr., wide receiver, last season, and are projecting TCU's too deep now that spring football is over. Dylan Thomas's first 2 seasons in Fort Worth have been relatively quiet, but that's what happens when you play for a program with arguably too much depth at wideout. Thomas caught his first career touchdown pass in TCU's opener against Jackson State last season, his only collegiate touchdown to date. The Fort Worth Pascal product has caught passes for only 94 yards, but has averaged 7.8 yards per catch. There's something to work with, for sure. He started last season against SMU, which has become a rite of passage for Frogs breaking into the rotation. Thomas's versatility will help him earn extra snaps moving forward. 24. Vernon Scott, Jr., safety, last season, NR before fall camp last season. Many had pondered whether Vernon Scott or Innis Gaines would become TCU's breakout safety of 2017. Turns out, it was Gaines. Gaines played in all 14 games and earned starts against West Virginia and Stanford in the Alamo Bowl. Scott also played in every game, but the measly numbers he has accumulated to this point have all come on special teams. That could change this season as Scott has really come on strong in spring ball. Depth chart pressure will be his biggest obstacle, with guys like LaKendrick Van Zandt and Vongar making noise. 2.23. Jason Stewart, Sr., wide receiver, last season, and our way too early predictions for TCU's 2018 season post-spring ball. Jarrison Stewart is a perfect example of a college athlete who hasn't aged well, and it's totally not his fault, either. Despite having the talent to hold his own in a Power 5 conference, the 6'0" slot receiver from Mesquite Horn, where he became a 4-star recruit, has been repeatedly glanced over in favor of other pass catchers. He's played in the shadow of classmate Cavante Turpin for years and his reps on the edge have been spotty. As a freshman, 2015, he played in 10 games and caught 21 passes for 265 yards and a touchdown. In 2017, he appeared in only 6 games. He also averaged just under 100 receiving yards for his sophomore and junior campaigns. Stewart hasn't become a non-factor, certainly, but with the Frogs' receiving core becoming deeper and younger this offseason, how much of the field he'll see as a senior is a total toss-up. Tay Barber, Omar Manning, Tavalance Hunt, and Nigel Meekin could all receive some of his reps. There's also a good chance that Barber or Manning steal a starting job from him. Stewart has become an afterthought to many, and he shouldn't be. He most definitely deserves to be named among the roster's best in spite of his decline in playing time. 22. Joseph Broadnax, Sr., defensive tackle, last season, and TCU could feature the Big 12's best defensive line in 2018, and the Frogs' depth is largely the reason why. Case in point, Joseph Broadnax, a senior who would be starting anywhere else in the conference, will likely be first off the bench for the Frogs at defensive tackle. He, along with the other D linemen selected as honorable mentions, will allow TCU to stay incredibly fresh and rotate bodies at will. Broadnax is an underrated pass rusher who could prove to be a serious weapon. 21. Julius Lewis, Sr., cornerback, last season, 19. Julius Lewis falls a few spots from last season's countdown, but only because we saw so little of him in 2017. He's missed 17 games since the start of the 2016 season due to various injuries. That being said, he looks to start across from Jeff Gladney this season, filling Ranthony Texada's vacancy. If he can stay healthy, Lewis will be a more than adequate replacement. Twitter, @Reece